Today, we're diving into a story that feels like it was ripped straight out of a military thriller. It's a tale about a legendary machine, a trap laid with incredible patience, and a battle that might just be rewriting the rules of modern warfare. So let's get right into it.
For decades, there's been one machine that has just dominated the battlefield, earning an almost mythical reputation: the Israeli Merkava tank. People call it the Iron Beast, a rolling fortress that was seen as the absolute pinnacle of armored power and tech superiority.
That's the question, right? What if it wasn't? Because on one fateful day, the legend of the Iron Beast was about to face its most brutal test yet. Okay, first up, let's properly meet the main character of our story. And no, it's not a person, it's a 65-ton behemoth of steel and cutting-edge electronics, the Merkava Mark IV.
I mean, just look at this thing. At 65 tons, it's an absolute monster. But you know, its real claim to fame wasn't just its sheer size. It was its brain. Specifically, the Trophy Active Protection System. That piece of tech is what built its reputation as a nearly invincible fortress.
So, think of Trophy as this invisible, high-tech shield surrounding the tank. It uses radar to spot incoming rockets and missiles, and then, get this, it fires a shotgun-like blast of tiny metal pellets to shred the threat in midair, just feet away from the tank itself. For years, it was basically the perfect defense.
But the Merkava's enemies, they'd been studying it. They weren't going to go for a direct head-on fight. No, they were planning something much more patient and a whole lot deadlier. They were planning what's known as a ghost ambush.
This isn't your classic battlefield charge. The ghost ambush is all about tactical patience. It's like fishing. You let the little fish swim right on by because you're waiting for the big one. You don't engage the scouts. You let them go back and report that the coast is clear. You want them to draw the real prize, the heavy armor, right into your trap.
And here's exactly how that strategy played out. On a Tuesday, a remote-controlled bulldozer comes in to scout the area. Hezbollah forces see it, but they do absolutely nothing. They just watch, and they wait. The area is marked as safe. The bait is taken. The next day, Wednesday, the real targets show up, a whole column of MERKAVAS. And just as the sun starts to set, the trap is sprung.
So what kind of weapon actually made this ambush possible? This was no standard anti-tank rocket. No, this was something engineered with one very specific purpose: to kill the Iron Beast.
Let me introduce you to the Almas Missile. It's an Iranian-made weapon, and it has one single devastating design feature. It doesn't hit a tank where it's strongest, on the front or the sides. Nope, it's designed for what they call a top attack.
So how does that work? Well, it's a three-stage journey. An operator, who's hidden miles away, launches the missile. But instead of flying straight, it shoots way up, high into the sky. Then, once it's directly over the tank that has no idea it's even there, it just turns and dives straight down.
And this right here is the whole ball game. The Merkava's amazing trophy system is scanning the horizon, right? It's looking for threats coming in on a horizontal line. But the Almas isn't on the horizon. It's coming from directly above, a total blind spot. It completely bypasses that defensive shield. It's the perfect key to unlock a near-perfect defense.
The result was just catastrophic. The missile plunged right through the thinnest part of the tank's armor, the roof of the turret. In a flash, the invincible fortress was turned into a burning pile of twisted steel. And the attack on that first column of tanks? That was just the opening act. The ghost ambush was about to become something so much bigger. See, as rescue and reinforcement units started rushing to the scene, they were met by a totally different kind of threat. It's a tactic that's been perfected on the battlefields of Ukraine. Swarms of FPV, or first-person view, suicide drones. These things are small, they're super agile, and they're packed with explosives. The drone pilots zeroed in on the vulnerable rescue crews and then swarmed the other tanks. They weren't even trying to hit the heavy armor. They were flying these drones with surgical precision straight into the Merkava's rear engine vents, crippling the beast from behind.
When the dust finally settled 24 hours later, Hezbollah was claiming a truly staggering number: the destruction or disabling of 21 Merkava tanks.
Now, of course, in the fog of war, numbers are always a point of contention. The Israeli Defense Forces came out officially and said those claims were exaggerated, challenging the scale of the losses that Hezbollah was reporting.
But then, the footage started to leak online. Video from the attackers' own drones seemed to show multiple burning and disabled Merkavas.
This visual evidence painted a picture of what some started calling a tank graveyard, adding a whole other layer of information warfare to the actual battle.
So why does this one battle matter so much? I mean, why are we talking about it? Because this was about way more than just destroying military hardware. This was about destroying an idea.
For a long, long time, the Merkava has been the ultimate symbol of Israeli military strength and the nation's promise of security. It represented technological dominance and, most importantly, the safety of its soldiers. Seeing those symbols shattered like that, well, it has a psychological impact that reaches far beyond any battlefield.
When you boil it all down, the message here was crystal clear. Iran and its allies showed the world that even the most advanced, most expensive tank could be taken down by cheap, innovative, and incredibly patient tactics. The old rules of war were officially being put on notice.
And all of this brings us to the final, really provocative question that military analysts everywhere are asking right now. In a world of precision top-attack missiles and swarms of dirt-cheap drones, is the multi-million-dollar heavy battle tank the undisputed king of land warfare for a century? Is it now obsolete? That's the question that's still smoldering in the aftermath of the Ghost ambush.